Okay, we've got a 12.8 volt 100 amp hour battery. This was sent to me by Temu. A manual, Anderson connector with some terminal plugs, carrying strap. It's like a miniature Pelican case. That's actually pretty cool. Whoa, that's heavier than I thought. 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour, 1280 watts. All the information. Here's dimensions in millimeters. Charge current 50 amps. Discharge current 100 amps. And it weighs 11 kilograms. Battery information can be monitored and observed through the mobile phone app. Okay, I already have this app. Cells are well balanced, 64 degrees Fahrenheit and 50%. So in the app it's showing manufacturer DGJBD, so it must have a JBD BMS in it. I think that's a good thing. So the meter on the battery is showing 13.1 volts, so we have to turn the battery on. 13.18, so that's pretty accurate, I would say. So this is the SJY Kayak LiFePO4 battery designed for an electric motor powered kayak. But I think it would also be a great DC power supply bank for camping or other scenarios where you would require a 100 amp hour portable battery. You've got a couple of terminals here, positive and negative, and this has the screw-on type caps. They've got a washer on there as well. So you can connect the Anderson cable that comes with it for connecting to your electric motor or whatever else that you might be wanting to power with this. Under here you've got a USB-A and a USB-C plug. This side is a 12 volt accessory plug. And you've got an on-off switch. This kind of gives you a light readout of the voltage. So we're sitting, according to this, maybe just under 13 volts. You can turn it off there. And then you have a digital readout here. And it has several different screens. So this first one is the percentage, and we're currently at 100% on charge. Voltage, 13.4 volts. Amperage, so it'll give you a readout of amperage going in or coming out of the battery. And then amp hours. So in this case we're full, so there's 100 amp hours in the battery pack. Very handy display, and I actually really like that feature. You can press it one more time and it'll turn that off, so it's not just burning power all the time. I decided while the battery's charging up, I might as well check out these USB ports. This is my wireless microphone battery charging case. So I've got it plugged into the USB-A plug, and this is what the lights do when it's charging. That's a 3.0 plug, and then you've got a USB-C below that. And I'm doing that while I'm charging the battery. That's a pretty cool feature. I actually really like that. Then it's got a couple of clips here, as well as a carrying handle, which would really be handy. I mean, this is built for mobile use. And here's a look inside. So you've got the battery cells all encased with the BMS on top here in shrink wrap. I can look through here and see that they are prismatic cells. I'm not sure what type they are. I can't see the QR codes on them. But you've got a 6-gauge positive and a 6-gauge negative that are going to these two terminals down here. And then the rest of the wiring for all the other little outlets and adapters and the readout on the screen and all that's in there. So it's really nice. There is a raised rim around the top of this opening. And then up here, you also have like a rubber seal in there. So I'm sure that this gets a pretty good seal. They're claiming watertight seal. It looks to me like it probably seals pretty well. And a piano hinge that goes all the way across the back. So it's a pretty stout case, and it seems to lock down pretty nice. So I've got it 100% on charge. You can see the meter on the battery says 100%, and so does the app. I've got the Alpha 1500 watt inverter connected. We'll use my light bulbs for the discharge. See if we can get this up to about 34 amps of discharge. Let's turn the inverter on first. All right, we'll plug the lights in. That's 34.8 amps of current coming out of the battery, 456 watts. And it should take just under 3 hours. Let's see what we've got here. 12.9 now with the draw on it. Pulling 35 amps out of the battery. So this is a pretty accurate little meter. I like it. 99.3%. So we'll let that run. We'll see you in about 3 hours or so. Well, we're down to 1% on the discharge. It says no time remaining. 11.93 volts. Still pulling 36 amps of current at 442 watts. And clear at the bottom, we are almost perfectly balanced. 0.01 volt difference between all 4 cells, so that's pretty darn good. This shunt that I have in line is 99.8 amp hours so far, so we're just about to meet the threshold, 1,260 watts. Let's look at the meter on the battery. 0.3% left, 11.8 volts, still pulling 37.5 amps, 0.2 amp hours left. And looking on the meter, we just met 100 amp hours, 1,270 watt hours. 0% on the battery, and we're still at 11.6 volts, so we got a ways to go still. And the inverter hasn't even started complaining about the voltage yet. Very nice. The SJY Kayak battery has at least 100 amp hours in it. Now we're showing 101 amp hours. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the test down here. We'll get it charged up, and then we'll do a discharge test and see if it'll pull 100 amps for at least 5 minutes. This SJY Kayak battery is rated for 100 amps maximum continuous output current. So let's go ahead and test that. And I'm hoping that this screen stays illuminated throughout the test, but we'll find out. We'll put it on amps there, and I'll probably just switch back and forth between the timer and the app so you can kind of see both as we go through this test. So let's turn on the cooktop. And I've got a box fan over here on the floor, and it's on high, pulling 7.6 amps. So let's fire up the hot plate. There we go, 100.4 amps, and that's 1,235 watts. So let's start this timer, and we'll see if we can get that to run for 5 minutes. Let's see what our battery shows. 100 amps. Okay, off we go. Okay, there we go. We'll stop the timer. It did pull 100 amps for 5 minutes, and it performed as it's advertised. Now, I don't know anything about electric kayak motors, which is what this battery was designed for. In my opinion, the battery would be a great off-grid power, like for camping or something like that. It's basically a DC portable generator, in my opinion. I think it's a really nice setup. I think the construction's pretty nice on it. It performed as it's advertised. I'll put links for it in the description along with this other stuff if you're interested in checking any of that out. So go have a look at that. I'll put a coupon code if they give me one for you to save you a couple bucks if you decide you want to pick one up for yourself. And if you click that video on the screen now, be another video I think you'll enjoy. We'll meet you over there.